Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working on our Developing a Nation book that was sent home. And I'd like you to go and turn to page 30. And the reason I chose this one to read for today and to work on for today is because it says Oregon Trail. And I thought that since we went on a field trip recently and we did Oregon Trail, it would be fresh in our minds. But before we do this page, let's look through the book first and see what we can notice. Let's first start with the cover. It says Developing a Nation. So this is probably about how our country came to be and the things it went through to become what it is right now. I also noticed that there's a wagon. That's definitely old. And I wonder if this theme of old things and developing a country is going to be obvious in any of the other pictures. I'm going to change the page. Well, yeah, so there's like an old looking, I think that's a train. And some more wagons on the next page. I'd like you to go ahead and explore your book. I see a very old car. Route 66. We're not going to do these pages just yet. I see a family wearing what looks like some older looking clothing, black and white picture. And they're in a car, but it doesn't look like the kinds of cars we have right now. And we have a timeline on the bottom. It looks like it's the 30s. Oh, and it says it's the Dust Bowl. That's going to be interesting. We'll read about that in a little bit. As I change the pages, let's see what else I can notice. Some more wagons. Kind of looks a little different than the maps we have right now, but a lot of the pictures are black and white or drawings. Here people are building a railroad. And let's all move our pages to, okay, so all of those pictures look like they match the theme of developing a nation. So we're going to go to page 30. And I'd like you to copy, let me see if I can zoom in. I would like you to copy our usual notes on the side. We're looking for characters, setting, point of view, and the evidence for those things, and thoughts and feelings if we notice any. Oh, I forgot to write one more thing. Let's add genre. I'm going to make the genre, maybe a dark blue. If you want to pause this and go ahead and copy, you can. See if I can zoom out. Oregon Trail Diary. All right, so just from looking at this, what do you notice? Well, I notice it says diary in several places, so I guess that's the genre. It's a narrative, but it's somebody writing about their own life. And that makes sense. It says Dear Diary at the top, your friend Sally on the bottom, so that does look like a diary that I've seen before. And it says Oregon Trail, so I remember playing a game like that at our field trip where we had to make decisions because we were going with our families through the Oregon Trail. Let's see what the story is about, and every time we come across a setting, a character, a point of view, or evidence of those things, we're going to annotate. Dear Diary, I know I've not written for several weeks, but for good reason. In early September, we crossed the Blue Mountains of Oregon, which proved to be the most difficult part of our journey thus far. So I'm going to stop here, and if you see evidence of setting, character, or any of the other things we listed up here, go ahead and color them in. So for characters, I don't see a name just yet, but I do see setting. So I'm going to make my setting yellow. I see at least one setting. I think there's more to come. Setting means a place, so Blue Mountains of Oregon, and also time, September. If you see another one that I can't see, I wish you could talk to me while we're doing this, but go ahead and highlight that. Let's continue. Oh, it's for genre. I'm going to highlight it blue because it says diary. The mountains were very steep, so this trip was challenging with many obstacles. There was snow in some places, making the crossing even harder. Pa and the other men tied ropes to the wagons and pulled them up the sides of the mountains. We had to walk, even the young children. Okay, so do we have any characters? We see Pa. I don't know what Pa means, but it sounds like it's his or her dad. So I'm going to color the character orange. And then we have some supporting characters, the young children. When the rope broke the smith's wagon, when the rope broke on the smith's wagon, we were terrified. We watched in horror as the wagons tumbled down on the side of the mountains. But there was nothing to do but to continue walking. For two straight days it rained, and everyone was wet and cold. Finally, we made it to the other side of the mountain. Since the smiths lost their supplies, the rest of us pitched in and helped them. Well, that was nice of them. I'm going to put a happy face as my annotation. We had become like one big family. Okay, so we see some more characters involved in this. I see the Smiths. And I keep seeing I and we, so that is evidence of point of view. So I'm going to take my blue, because I'm going to color my point of view in blue. You make it whatever color you put on your table down here. So I have noticed evidence that this is written in, can anybody guess? First person. How do we know it is first person? Because the person telling the story is in the story. The narrator is a character. So it says I've not, we were terrified, we watched. If you see any more evidence of words that indicate that this is written in first person, go ahead and color them in. Ooh, your friend Sally. Okay, if you see any more, go ahead and highlight them. Let's continue. Oh, one thing I forgot to color in, thoughts and feelings. If we see evidence of thoughts and feelings, we're going to color that in. I did see some, and we talked about how including thoughts and feelings into our writings makes our writing more interesting. So look at that. When the rope broke on the smith's wagon, we were terrified. We watched in horror as the wagon tumbled down the side of the mountain. When she could have just said, the wagon broke, it fell down the mountain. Boring. But the way that the author wrote this, it has a lot of imagery. It has a lot of feelings and thoughts, horror, terror, and it brings the story to life. Let's continue. Next week, we'll cross the Columbia River, and if all goes well, we should reach Oregon City a few weeks later. Pa plans to buy 250 acres of land, and then we'll build our new home. I'm eager to live in a house again and sleep in a real bed. Well, where were they sleeping before? That's a good, interesting question. Where were they sleeping before? Where do you think they were sleeping before? It says, I'm eager to live in a house. So where were they living? And sleep in a real bed. What was she sleeping on? And why? These are all interesting questions, I'm wondering. So the reason we annotate is to put our thoughts as we connect to our reading into writing so we can make sense of what it is that we're reading. Okay, let's see. I'm eager to live in a house again and sleep in a real bed, and I can start school again once we are settled. I can't wait. Oh, thoughts and feelings. I'm going to make it red. I mean green. Your friend Sally, September 17, 1845. Okay, for all my mathematicians, go ahead and do the math to see how long ago this was written. September 14th, that sounds like a setting to me, so I'm going to make that yellow. September 17th. Oh, I found another setting, actually. Columbia River, Oregon City. If you see some more, let me know. All right, so that is our annotation for page 30. What did you think of the story? What I would like you to do is look through this book, because I'm going to be assigning some more things for you to do, and you're going to be doing exactly what I did on your own. Actually, you're going to be doing this one on your own, the Pony Express. But I do want you to look through the book because it has some interesting pictures. So for your homework, why is it blurry? Okay, for your homework, you're going to go to page 20, the Pony Express, and do exactly what I did on page 30. So we've done this before. This shouldn't be new. We're looking for point of view. We're looking for setting, characters, and we're annotating as we read. We are writing down our thoughts and feelings as we connect to the story. Now, this one was written in first person, and it had a lot of I words. So let's figure out what this one is. And you're going to do this one on your own. And when we come back to class, I'm going to collect it from you. Thank you.